Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In previous reminders, we had discussed the importance of having a heart that is connected to Allah, because it is only when our heart is connected to Allah that we begin to experience the true joy of being a Muslim. There are many ways we can build our connection to Allah, but of all the ways to do it, one of the simplest ways to build a connection with Allah is by building a connection with the Qur'an. Because the Qur'an is the only book in the entire world that has the message of Allah in the exact words of Allah. So with that in mind, let's answer the question, why do we recite and study the Qur'an? Let's look at it this way. There is a famous Muslim scholar from history named Imam Ghazali. Now, if I wanted to meet Imam Ghazali and learn who he was and learn directly from him, it would seem impossible because he passed away a long time ago. He lived centuries ago. But even though he's gone, he wrote many books during his life. And if I study his books and study his writings, I can find out who he was and can learn directly from him. I cannot physically meet Imam Ghazali, but through studying his books, my heart will start to become connected to him. In the same way, as a human, I cannot physically meet Allah, but the Quran is the book that was written by Allah Himself. So if I study the book of Allah and study what Allah tells us, then I will find out who Allah is, and I can learn directly from Allah Himself. And over time, by studying the book of Allah, my heart will start to become connected to Allah. So therefore, the Quran is our gateway to Allah. A person's love for the Quran is reflective of their love for Allah, and their effort to study and recite the Quran will bring them closer to Allah. A person's consistent recitation and study of the Quran, done with pure intentions, strengthens their connection to Allah. When it comes to the Quran, think of this analogy. If we were walking through a dark forest where there was no illumination, what would we need? The number one item we would need is a flashlight. The number two item we will need is a battery to power the flashlight, because without the flashlight and without the battery, it will be almost impossible to navigate the forest. In the same sense, life can sometimes feel like a dark forest we're trying to go through. There may be times in life when we're confused or frustrated or don't know which way to go. And in life, the Quran is the flashlight that helps illuminate the right way. And our recitation and study of the Quran is the battery that powers the flashlight and allows it to help us. Again, in life, the Quran is the flashlight that helps illuminate the right way. And our recitation and study of the Quran is the battery that powers the flashlight, because the flashlight is useless without its batteries. In the same sense, the Quran will not do us any good just sitting on the bookshelf. We need to read it and study it to gain the benefits Allah offers us through the Quran. And this is why the Quran is such an integral part of our lives. It's how we hear the message of Allah in the exact words of Allah.